Today we are discussing the questions. Yes, the first question is asked by Namrata, and the question is about Planck's concept or theory. And second question is asked by I think Vaibhavi. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And the question is about Bohr's fourth postulate. Let me discuss these questions one by one. First, I want to talk about the Planck's concept. Do you know the year when Planck has come or Planck's ideas have come? Yes, in which year Planck's concept have come? Yes, please help. No, means you not went to the videos. It is in 1900. Means end of the 19th century. Then what was the condition before? There was a classical approach. What that classical approach and for whom? It is for wave. A particle and wave, that understanding was there in the classical approach. But understanding about wave was somewhat different. What were they considering? Wave is continuous. It is which concept? Classical concept. Means if there is a source of light, consider it is a sun, source of light, and from that which the light comes out, that light from sun is coming in continuous way, as if like we feel it is not reality. A waterfall from the top falls and come to the ground, means a stream, complete flow is there, continuous flow is there in a waterfall that we feel. Waterfalls, too many streams are there. Even if you consider only one stream, then that also comes down over there. That is what the continuous flow that we feel. So wave is continuous. That was classical approach. Student, could you able to understand what I am saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And what they were explaining, they were explaining black body radiation, because black body radiation was a well-known concept at that time. Practically they were finding, but explanation they were not with. What is that black body radiation concept? Anything if you consider, you might have seen the iron. If you put it in the fire, then it shows different angry colors. At the beginning it can remain what, the reddish, then slowly it becomes yellowish, and then later on it turns somewhat to whitish. Have you noted that thing?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Explain once more, please.
I say, see, if you consider iron rod, or iron, say, in instrument, iron metal I'm talking about, if you put it in the fire, then it shows different colors. Have you noted such colors? That was my question.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Let me open one Google so that I'll show you those colors. Oh, it is not opening. Just wait. Now sharing is going on. Because of that, no window is opening. Yes, could you able to see that Google?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Iron, I want to see the color with different temperature. Different flame is different temperatures remain. And by the way, colors also remain what, the different one. So I open up CV images. Just one example that I had given, that is of the iron. Yes, you will understand few colors. Even stars also are with different colors, and that is because of the temperature phenomenon. Whatever the color of that matter, that is different one. See, because of heat. At the beginning, it is what, reddish coloration. What is the temperature? 1400 degrees Celsius. Could you able to pay attention towards the screen? I'm talking
Yes,
about
sir.
it. Yes. As temperature increases, see, color become yellowish, and at 2300 degree, color became white. So that observation people were noting, they were understanding, because of change in temperature, color variations are there. Then how those variations are there? Why those variations are there? That was a big question mark. So to solve this question, few theories have come up. That's a Wien's theory or Rayleigh's theory. They have noted that there are the radiations. How are the radiations? Radiations are at the all about wavelength. One where there is maxima and there is what, the minima. So just core they were finding practically. But when they were considering that the classical approach, either they were explaining this left side portion or they were explaining right side portion somewhat to the neatness, but nowhere they could able to explain this complete concept. It was a problem. It was a problem of whom? It was a problem of approach. Which approach? Classical approach. Relics and winds have given a mathematical formula to explain this curve. What is science? Science is that field which explain the practicability, which explain the observed thing, and to explain that we take the help of theory. So up to end of 1900, of end of 19th century, that puzzle was there. People were not able to explain that thing properly. Then came the era of Max Planck, and Max Planck has given a new idea, and that had changed the world of understanding about this wave. Whatever the classical approach is there, how classically limited it is, people came to know it later. I could not give the complete credit to the Max Planck. Along with the work of Einstein also is important. Einstein's theory 1903 or 1905 is in the same era, same period. Because of their work, we could able to understand wave in new form. That's a form called as quantum form. Now what that quantum is? That quantum related theory of Max Planck is there. Max Planck said whatever the wave propagates, that propagates in discrete units, discrete packets. Propagation is there linear, but propagation is in what? The discrete packet. Means what? If there is any source of the light, say the sun, from that which radiation will come, that radiation is coming in the form of one photon. It's only one photon, but that photon remains continuous. That photon travels and reach to us, and we receive here on the earth we are there, and we receive that one photon. After that, what happens? Next photon comes, next photon, and that next photon also propagates in continuous way, and it reaches, and we get the second packet. Afterwards, we receive the third packet. It's one photon, and it remains continuous, and it comes towards what? The earth, and that is our what? The third packet. But they are so close that we could not recognize the separation between them. But because of the concept of the Max Planck, we come to know that light travels in terms of small packets. To make this concept clear, I give you the example of shower or the rain. How the rain comes? A drop of the water, and that drop slowly they come down. Could able to understand? It is not a continuous line of one drop is coming continuously, but drop comes, the next drop, the next drop. How we can understand this rain falling in terms of discrete unit? Likewise, light also travels in terms of discrete unit, and those discrete units are the quanta or photon. Photon is a small packet, as like raindrop. Drop is a small packet, like a photon is a small packet. Then next packet, like where the multi packets do come, and they do reach to us. Students, are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Those small packet concept, that small packet concept is called as quanta. That small packet, the name for that is quanta. And related to that, the theory came, that theory put forward by Planck is called as quantum theory. To the idea of Planck, who has supported, yes, help me, I had given you the name of one scientist. What is that?
So please ask again.
Along with Planck, one more scientist I told to you. He's responsible for this quantum approach. What's the name of the scientist? Means to the idea of Planck, that scientist has supported, brilliant scientist.
Einstein.
Yes, Einstein also supported that. And Einstein said that wave can be matter. Interesting thing. Till that people were considering wave is different, matter is different. But because of this quantum approach and because of the Einstein concept, the Einstein has given the idea that so wave can be in terms of matter. That energy for that wave E is equal to, help me, what's the formula?
MC square.
MC square.
Yes, MC square. There's no need to only by heart that understand that there's a mass for the wave. Interesting. There's a mass for the wave, and because of that mass, it has energy. Or energy is there, then mass should be there. It is Einstein's brilliant concept. Means previous whichever the ideas were there, those went out, and people understood, yes, wave is related to the mass, wave is related to the particle, wave is related to the previous classical particle concept. So there is a relation. So due to which one more idea came. Yes, will anybody help me? What is that? Dash nature of matter, dash nature of wave or matter. You can matter come later on. Yes,
Particle nature of me.
particle nature one and other nature, particle nature and other nature, particle nature of wave. So wave has which basic nature? Two natures are there. One is particle and other, yes,
Wave.
right, wave. We are talking about wave, particle. Wave can behave. Wave can relate to the particle. So to make this concept clear, one concept is there, and that concept is called as dash nature of wave. What is that? What is dash? Fill in the blank.
Dual nature of wave.
Right, brilliant. Who has answered?
Vaibhavi.
Vaibhavi, good answer. Dual nature of wave. Actually, dual nature of matter also we say. Wave is related to matter. That is a concept of Einstein. Actually, question asked by Namrata was Planck's concept. Planck only said that quanta whichever travels has the energy E is equal to h nu, or which is equal to hc upon lambda. Means he has also given the expression for energy, but nowhere their mass was coming. Relation between wave and particle was explained by Einstein. So this energy is of whom? Is energy of quanta, energy of small packet, energy of one raindrop. Raindrop is not a fair word, but for understanding I'm saying. Only small packet, E is equal to h nu. What is nu? Nu is a frequency. What is c? Speed of light. What is lambda? Wavelength. So whatever the concept were there, wavelength concept, frequency concept, speed concept, he applied that concept, and but to whom? To quanta. Because of that, complete understanding of black body radiation changed. And whatever we could not able to explain, that we could able to explain because of the concept of Max Planck. That's advantageous to study or learn Max Planck. Namrata, your question, and to your question, did you get the answer?
Yes, sir.
Other students, the question asked by Namrata and answer that I provided, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So shall I switch to the next concept? Next question asked by Vaibhavi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. The question asked by Vaibhavi is about Bohr's theory. And her concept basically is regarding the fourth postulate. It is regarding the difference in energy. Energy come out or energy absorb. One example that I give it to you before coming to the Bohr. Consider there is a well. Well water is there. In that well, there is a water. And you want to shift that water, or you want to lift that water to the tank, which is at height, at the roof. It is a case number one. And case number two, you want to bring this water from tank to the tap, means to the ground floor. It is coming. It is our case number two. Now please reply. To move or to lift the water from here to tank, you have to provide energy or not. By pump you will, no? You will suck that water. You will provide the energy or not?
Yes, sir. Provide energy.
Yes.
Yes.
Means whatever the
Yes,
energy
sir.
of water is there, let you understand potential energy. It is in the well, and energy of water is there in the tank. Are they same? Energy of water in the well and energy of water in the tank, are they same? Yes, students, could you able to understand my question?
No answer.
No answer. Okay. So as you go high, that's the energy. That's we say the potential energy. It is true. You have supplied energy. You have invested energy to lift the water from well to the tank. You have supplied energy, no? So whatever the energy EW plus something amount is equal to energy in the tank remains, because you have supplied the energy. Would you able to understand that or not? Okay. Simple example I give it to you. Consider one ball is there with you and you are throwing that ball to upside. After throwing that ball to upside, then energy of the ball here in the at low level or low height, and energy of the ball here, will it remain same? I'm talking about potential energy and kinetic energy. These two energies are there. Potential energy and kinetic energy. These two energies are there. I am talking about potential energy. Will energy be the same in ground state or here and the here? Still difficult. Okay, means basic concept I need to make to clear to you. What is energy? Energy is made up of two aspects. One, potential energy plus kinetic energy. Yes, do you know this concept, potential and kinetic energy? Please reply yes or no. Am I audible to you? Yes, you are there.
हॅलो सर
Ah, yes, Sridhar.
साऊंड कट होते मध्ये.
It is for all. Network problem is just my side or from your side? Yes, Vaibhavi, Sanika, Namrata, Tejas. Answer is sound breaking. Am I not clearly audible to all?
So now it is clear.
Okay. Maybe the network issue. Okay. See, students, my question is, see, so consider Sridhar as one example. On college ground, Sridhar is there, and he's a runner. So Sridhar has taken the start. Start means just he has taken the position to start. He has not started to run, but he has taken position. What do you think? Has Sridhar energy to run or not?
Yes.
Yes, that's energy is there, but that energy now is not in the moment. He has not taken speed. He is not started to run. It is there. It is there. So it is in terms of potential energy. He has that potential. We say no potential, caliber. These words came in the science in that way only. It's caliber or potential that you can say. We say no. The candidate or student has that potential to study. It's a good potential to learn. That player has that potential. India team has that potential. Or Pakistan team has that potential. We say the potential. So we're talking about potential. Potential is not in the moment. But when he will run, then that potential energy, one form of energy can be converted to the other form. Potential energy converted to kinetic energy. Means their kinetic energy remains. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So water in the tank upside, that water has energy. Just to puncture the tank or allow the water to come down, automatically water will come down. That's a ball that I said, it is at one height, automatically ball will come down. Why? Gravitation is there. So gravitation also affects for the energy. For about electron, it is not, but in general point of view, I'm talking about effect. So we say the potential energy at Amboli, up region, and potential energy at Danoli, that's a low region, will be what? Different. And that potential energy depends upon the height. And we say that potential energy as how, just wait. Oh, what happened? That potential energy is equal to, we represent as H rho G. H means height, rho means density, and G means gravity, acceleration due to gravity. So as height increases, potential energy increases, means total energy increases. So my question was, when that water is in the well, it has some kind of energy, and when that water comes in the tank, it has other kind of energy. So in order to have this conversion from this energy, we have to convert to this energy, we should know which energy is larger. Now please help me answer for my question. Energy in the tank is larger, for water I am asking, or energy of water in this well is larger? Where that energy is larger? Energy in tank? Yes, energy in
Energy in tank.
Larger.
right. Energy in tank is larger or greater than energy in the well. So for this conversion, means if I want to convert EW to ET, or if I want to give that much energy to the water, then what I need to do? Should I provide energy, or water will give me the energy? Water will do the work for me.
Water
want
will do work.
I have to provide. Yes, I have to provide the energy, and that energy may be the X amount. That's addition. C, addition. So when we give that energy by means of the pump, then water goes upside. So energy is a very fantastic phenomenon, thermodynamic phenomenon. If you give, energy will increase, and that state will go up. And reverse case, if I consider, if that water from upside is coming down, means what? ET, and I consider EG. G means ground. Now answer for my question. Who is larger, ET or EG? G means ground. T means tank. Tank is upside. Which energy is larger?
It is larger.
Good. It is larger. Then if that energy in tank or water in the tank comes to the ground, then as it comes down, what do you think? It should give out energy or it should take energy? What is necessary? What you find that water when comes down gives energy or takes energy?
Give out energy.
Gives out.
Gives out energy, and therefore you can perform different work. You can find pressure, you can find flow, and that can do the work. Who can do the work? Without energy, work is not possible. And that work conversion is there because of the utilization of energy. So the energy is utilized, therefore work can be possible. So if you consider turbine there, the turbine will rotate. If waterfall is there, or if water falls on that from the top. So when water falls from the top to the down, energy liberated. Energy goes out. It has to leave energies by any means. It will do impact on the ground. Even in the rainy season, from the terrace, if water falls, then you will find there is a digging, or you will find the impact of water. It is because of the loss of potential energy. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, conclusion, if I consider different energy levels, so just wait. Three energy levels I consider: first, second, and third. And my assumption is energy increasing. Means first higher, second lower, and third is what the further lower. And imagine our electron is here in the third energy level. This just numbering matters. If I want to move this electron from first, that's a third energy level, to here. If I want to bring electron here, what do you think? I should provide energy or energy will come out?
We have to
Provide
provide energy.
Right. We have to provide energy. We have to provide energy. Opposite. If it is coming down, energy will come out. How much energy we have to provide? That energy that we need to provide is equal to difference in energy of second level and difference in energy of third level, E2 minus E3. That much energy I have to provide. Then electron will go up. Opposite to that, imagine electron is now upside and this electron wants to come down. And if it comes down, then what do you think? Energy will come out or energy necessary to supply?
Energy comes out.
Yes, energy will come out. Energy will come out, has to. How much energy? Equal to difference in the energy. So if we have to move electron up means higher energy level, 1s orbital to 2s orbital, 3s orbital, likewise high energy orbital, then we have to provide energy. But if electron is coming down from high energy level to low energy, then it will give off the energy. One example that I give it to you. Have you seen the sodium lamp? Yes. Have you seen the sodium lamp anywhere? Or yellow color giving light lamps? I'm not saying all yellow color giving light lamps are the sodium lamps. Yes. Have you seen them? In physics laboratory? Maybe you will see that. You will understand. What is the mechanism? Or nowadays it is changed because of that now CFL and modern lamps, these old lamps went out. But previously, what was the mechanism? What was the mechanism? In a lamp or in a bulb, there remains a sodium atoms, small sodium atoms. And they means at low temperature, they will be in the solid form. But what we do, we heat them. Means there remains a coil, and with the help of that coil, the heating takes place. And as they heat, they convert to the vapor. They forms the vapor. And as they form vapor, means they absorb energy, no? They become energetic. So in sodium, outermost electronic configuration, if you see, the electron remains in the 3s orbital. That's one electron. That electron goes to the high energy level because of heating. But how long it can remain there? It has to come down, no? As like if I throw the ball upside, ball will not go completely up. It will come down. It has to come down. Likewise, this electron also has to come down. And while coming down, it radiates the energy. And that color of that radiation is yellow. And therefore, we find the glow for that lamp as yellow. It is a game of electron. Students, are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Even what the color we see, there also the game of electron is there. It's a game of photon, but electron is playing role. Because in atom, if you consider, no, then a basic, fundamental, core aspect of the atom, rigid aspect of the atom, to that we say, help me. What is that? Atom central portion, rigid, hard portion. Wait remains for that. What is that?
Nucleus.
Right, it's a nucleus. And what is the charge on that? It is positively charged. Positively charged. To counterbalance that positive charge, there remains a cloud of the electron. Cloud. See, cloud of the electron. And that electron cloud is a modern concept. Bohr was not knowing the electron cloud. And because of electron cloud, the charge gets for the balance. So if you see the atom, the outer portion is what? Electron. So who will suffer first? Electron. So if the excitation is there, first excitation for electron. If absorption is there, first absorption for the electron. Then there will be the proton and neutron. So chemistry, whatever we study, is basically due to electron. Oh, interesting concept, electron. My teacher was saying, who is electron? That teacher was saying electron is a god. Why electron is a god? Because God is a creator, God is a destructor. What are the atoms and their properties are there because of whom? Electron. So it is just a fantastic point of view, just I told to you a state. Our point of interest is a Bohr's theory. Whatever this concept we studied is regarding the energy levels. So in atom also there remains a energy levels. Energy level. So low energy, then high energy, then further high energy. Likewise, different energy levels are there. Concept of Planck only Bohr has taken but applied in other fashion. And for different atoms, different energy levels are there. Now I label in them different way. I consider it's energy for first orbit, energy for second orbit, energy for third orbit, and energy for fourth orbit. Now I want to know the answer from you. Whose energy will be larger? For example, if I am comparing E4 and E1, who will be larger?
E4.
Right, E4 will be larger. As you go away from the nucleus, energy increases. Restriction doesn't remain. Your attraction remains for the less towards for the nucleus. Energy for that electron remains for the higher. Means if any electron remains here in the E1 as a ground state, and if I want to move or shift that electron to this E4, then just will you help me? What shall I do? Shall I provide energy or energy will come out?
We have to provide energy.
Yes, we have to provide the energy. How much energy? Yes,
E4 minus E1.
right, equal to the difference. So here difference will be the positive. But in order to, for the safer side, modulus or positive magnitude, absolute value. So such function, mathematical function is what used. Don't get confused in that. If we have to bring the electron which is to the upside to the ground state, then what do you think? When electron comes down, falls down, then in such cases, what will happen? Energy will be needed or energy will come out?
Energy will come out.
Yes, energy will come out and we will find emission. Light is coming, flame that we find because of emission. Different reasons are the many reasons may be there, but emission is there. Therefore, we do find or we do recognize, we do understand those radiation. So, what Bohr's theory said, if we want to move the electron from low energy to high energy, then we have to provide the energy, and that energy is equal to the energy gap. Opposite to that, if electron has to come down, then we have to provide the energy, and that energy equal to that energy gap. So energy will come out equivalent to that energy gap. So whether energy is needed or energy will come out, energy will be absorbed or energy will come out, light will be absorbed or light will come out. Light is the one form of energy that Bohr can answer. Why Bohr thought about that? It has a wide practical applications. Different series you might have studied. Yes. Will anybody help me? The name of the series, different spectral series.
Lyman series, Balmer
Right.
series,
Right.
Paschen,
Right.
Fund,
No.
Beckett,
Right.
Fund.
Font. And one more is there. Go to the video. You will find that related to the H. Okay. Actually, this Lyman series is there. It is in the ultraviolet region. Ultraviolet. Balmer series is there. It is in the visible region. Balmer series you can say. Visible region. Visible region means light has a lot of spectrum. Out of that, our eyes are sensible for up to particular range. 380 nanometer to 760 nanometer. That's a visible range that we see. Little portion of left side, means violet. Little portion of the other side means red. That also we can find to little extent, but majorly it is a visible range. Therefore, it is said as the visible light. It is not that because of the we could see, we are saying it is what the visible. Majorly we see, therefore we are saying it is visible, but scientists have fixed that as the range. This range is what the visible range. X-rays, gamma rays, our eyes can't sense them. It doesn't mean they also have the color. We have not that sense to see that color because our approach is about what the white light. White means mixture of all these colors. There may be the animals or the insects. They could see X-rays. They could see gamma rays. We could not see, but they can. For example, see about seeing we could not, but about listening I can give the example. We could listen from 1 hertz to 1 hertz. Do you know the range that human being could able to listen from? Frequency 20 hertz to
20,000 hertz.
right 20k. 20,000 hertz. That's a general range. It doesn't mean 19 hertz we can't listen. Chances are there we can. And there will be people who could not listen 21 hertz also. Just general range is given. But if you see the cats and dogs, their senses are so brilliant that they could sense less than 20 hertz. The bat, I'm talking about animal, could hear ultrasound. Ultrasound means its frequency is more than this. Ultra means large energetic. But we could not able to listen that sound. Students, are you following what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Same is thing about the spectra. So ultraviolet, visible, infrared, different radiations. Spectras were what the found. So in order to answer these spectras, in order to answer the wavelength which came out, the Bohr's fourth postulate is very important. And to your surprise, you also might be knowing, first Balmer series people could able to discover. Then Lyman series came. Because Balmer series is a visible range. No, people were working on that, the visible, and they could able to recognize, they could able to sense. Instruments also were not developed to that level. And therefore, this series came first. But from frequency point of view, from wavelength point of view, the CADR means high energy or low wavelength means Lyman series, then Balmer series, little high wavelength, Paschen series, further higher wavelength, ultraviolet, visible, infrared. Likewise, in that spectrum, we could able to find that the spectrum. So only answering rough spectra exist was not important. What is that exact wavelength? What is that exact color? That was what the important. And for that purpose, we need to study the question asked by Vaibhavi. What was that? Bohr's fourth postulate, energy gap, energy difference. So their logic should be very clear cut. From low energy to high energy to supply. You should give energy, maybe by means of heat or by means of light. And if electron is coming down, the energy will come out, maybe in terms of heat or maybe in terms of light. Yes, Vaibhavi, did you get the answer?
Yes, sir.
Other students, question asked by Vaibhavi and answer I provided, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. It is the purpose of this lecture. A teacher's perspective you can get by such discussion. All the things in the online or record video I can't explain. But go through the video. I am finding that you are not going to the video. Go through the videos. It is for clear-cut understanding of the chemistry. Yes. Any other question? If no, then say no.
No questions, sir.
Only two have answered.
No question.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Then whatever I discuss, I hope it is clear to you. Two questions I discussed. First question was by Namrata, and the answer for that question is quanta. Quantum is packet, small energy packet with which a light travels. That's a Planck concept. And second question regarding the Bohr's theory, energy gap. If electron has to go up, energy to provide. Electrons to come down, energy will come out. Okay, good. And complete assignments. See, I will be very strict. If you do not complete the assignments, I want that you should complete. So with this video, I am appealing to all FI-based students, complete assignments. If you do not agree with the assignments, if any problem is there, ask me. You can just text me, WhatsApp, or you can call. I am there to help you. But what from you is important. Now, whoever are there, to them I am asking, is my expectation to complete assignment, is it wrong?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so please complete assignments. So be regular. Afterwards, too many assignments, then hectic work will be there. So daily, if you go on completing, it will be the better. Okay. So if no question, then shall we stop now?
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, student. Then I stop the recording and I declare here today's session is over. Quit now.